Hello everybody and welcome to Countdown to Zero. I am the Zero Man, and today we are looking at Super Mario World and concluding, finally, Mario Month. Well, when I say finally, I've been busy and haven't got around to properly playing the game enough to actually form an opinion on it. Finally, I've gotten a lot of free time as of lately, and thus now I'm here. If you are unfamiliar with the Countdown to Zero format, look at 3 good things of the game, 3 bad things, and try to make some kind of overall decision at the end. So, let's begin. Super Mario World. This is the first game to come out for the SNES and the actual Mario series. And as my first thing, I would have to say, good gracious, this game looks so good. A lot of the old NES games really aged quite poorly, but as far as the SNES games go, they really haven't. Super Mario World looks really good. Does it look perfect? Well, no. Could it look better? Yes, it could. But it looks really, really good. From enemy designs, to backgrounds, to just kind of everything about the game just looks really good, especially the overworld map. Which leads into number 2. The overworld map makes a return. Not just a return, a triumphant return. They took the map from Mario Bros. 3 and just amped it up. They put in a lot more detail, and they expanded out the kind of vision of how much you can see actually on the map. Different areas have different detail. Not everything is really confined to one or 2 screens. It's all kind of a fluid, dynamic map that you can go all the way across, and oh, it just looks good. It's basically the map design that's been used in every single Mario game since. Every overworld map is based off of this one from here on in, and that is because it is good. Third thing. Yoshi. Yoshi. Not just Yoshi, but power-ups in general, such as the cape. The cape and Yoshi are probably one of the better things about this game. Given you actually have the cape, which gives you some kind of melee attack, as well as kind of slow fall, as well as flying, and it's just like this all-together multi-purpose tool. Then you have the Yoshis, which, depending on whether you get a green or a blue one, has different kind of abilities. Green one is just a normal Yoshi, blue one is better at swimming, and is just plain awesome. And given that the Yoshis can eat enemies, it can allow you to get higher. If they swallow certain turtle enemies, you can end up going flying across the screen. You could breathe fire with them. It's just... oh, there's so much added in terms of power-ups and kind of side effects. It's so freaking fantastic. Music in this game. They actually make use of the SNES. They make use of different areas and different worlds, and just the music is amazing. Now, has it been done better since? I think so. But does the music hold up? Oh, yes. It's so much better than some of the older NES and some other SNES games, which just repeat the same tune again and again and again. It's good to hear kind of a combination of melodies and actual good, memorable songs. Oh, it's fantastic. I'm a sucker for good music. Going into the bad things about this game? This game is very hard to come up with any kind of points that I disagree with, or just things in general that I don't think are well designed. It's very hard to do that. And the reason behind that is the game is, at its core, extremely well designed. The physics are so fine that a ROM hack called Kaizo Mario was able to be created, which relies on the precise physics, on the precise mechanics, in order to make incredibly, impossibly hard puzzles. And just levels in general. That take extreme precision and timing in order to pull off. So I can't complain about that aspect of the game. The music is fantastic. I can't complain about that aspect of the game. The overworld map is not only functional, but elegant. I can't complain about that. There's plenty of secrets and kind of side projects, such as the block buttons, which you don't have to get to complete the game, but make the game easier. There's Star Road. There's various different alternate exits and kind of alternate levels that you don't have to go through, and multiple branching paths, and there's not a whole lot to actually complain about this game. Which, as someone who makes a habit of trying to point out the good and the bad of the game, makes my job infinitely more hard. So I have to start nitpicking. And when I say nitpicking, I mean nitpicking some of people's favorite things, such as the Cape and Yoshi. I did mention that earlier as nice additions, but I also kind of talked about in that spiel about the problems. The Cape, as well as the Yoshis, can fly. Now, the problem with flight in this game: if you are good enough, you can fly across an entire level and not have to deal with any hazards, any enemies, anything at all. Just bypass entire levels. Now, some people would say, oh, the skill part of it, that makes up for being able to bypass it, because if you're skilled enough to do that, then you should be able to bypass it. Well, in some ways that's true, but when you can bypass an entire level just from a single power-up, that's not exactly amazing level design. Now, if the level takes that into account, like I believe one of the areas in like the Spooky Forest or Ghost House does, I can't remember now. Like, I know one of them takes advantage of having like a secret exit hidden behind that you can only get to by flying. Like, that's cool, building the level design around the flying, but having it so that most levels can be kind of completed through flying is just poor design in my eyes. Now, this isn't true of every level, and it's not even true of most of the levels, but there are quite a few that you can just fly by and not really ever see what the level has to offer. And in all honesty, that's about all I can nitpick out of this game. The only other thing I can point out is that Yoshis basically give you unlimited life. As long as a Yoshi doesn't walk off into a pit, you can be hit as many times as you want and constantly get back on the Yoshi. I think that Yoshi should, give you a single kind of hit, and then once that hit's gone, you lose the Yoshi and you just go back to normal Mario, instead of, infinite life. But what do I know? But in all honesty, this is one of the more perfect games I've ever played, which is scary. I didn't go into this thinking it would be as precise in handling as I thought it would be. And this is the point where people might think I'd go back on my word about giving any game 10 out of 10. Well, no, I'm not going to, just because of the nitpicky things. saying a game is 10 out of 10 would be to say it's absolutely perfect, and this game is not. It's almost perfect. It's very, very close, and it is one of the greatest games ever made in history. I will lay down my chips right now and say one of the greatest games ever made. It is that close, where the only things I could tear into it about are just nitpicky things about how power-ups work. I honestly feel bad about nitpicking this game. I honestly do. But that's my job. I have to point out something bad, because there always is something bad. But with that, I give Super Mario World a 9 out of 10. It's an absolutely fantastic game, near perfect, can put tons of time and hours and energy into completing it, and just playing through it in general, and just trying to go through all the little challenges in Star Road, and so close to a perfect game. If you have not played it, please go out and either find a version of it on some kind of Nintendo system, or if you kind of want to go out of your way and actually do emulation, just go and have fun with that. Because this game really needs to be played by everyone. It is kind of the end-all be-all of 2D platformers. It is kind of the perfection of the 2D platformer, in my eyes. So, Mario month is over. Not exactly sure if we're going to do any more specialty months, or what exactly I'm going to be playing for next time, but I'm sure I'll find something interesting. So until next time, everybody, I have been the Zero Man, and you have all been fantastic.